Okay. So if you have any questions with regards to any of the script, just let me know, right?
Okay.
So this is this script is made some of our coaches 60 to 100k a month when they've got this script down to a T. This is really, really, really powerful. Don't underestimate the power of this.
Okay.
So the framework kind of looks like this. It's called the.
I'm gonna take that. Yeah.
So it's the EAACO script framework, right? So do you want me to just read it out to you, or it might take about 40 minutes to read this?
Okay. How do you
do?
think the VA would best want to? Would they want to listen to 40 minutes? Maybe. Yeah, let's do it, because then I can edit the video, and then I can edit the video maybe, or we could just send them the link and say, please watch this, and it's 45 minutes, but you'll have a good understanding of what it is. I think we should do that, because then I'll know as well. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll mute myself.
That's all right. If you have any questions, unmute yourself and just stop me at any point, okay? I'm just going to turn my phone off. So I'm getting phone calls. Hold on. Oh, it's coming through to my business. Hold on. Right. Okay, so this mini course, this is specifically for Clubhouse, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, for inbound and outbound messenger. So once we have, once we see people that have a problem in the marketplace, we can either reach out to them and offer help, or if we're on things like Clubhouse, or we're doing an Instagram post or story and people come into our messenger, this is the script that you have to follow if you want to get people on your web class, on a sales call, wherever it may be, wherever you want them to go. This is this script that you need to implement for them to be emotionally bought in. So they get to the point where you've got them on your web class or on a sales call, and you get them to the point now they're emotionally bought in, and now it's your opportunity to get them financially bought in. Okay. So the name of this is the Echo script, and this is a framework. So the strategy is very rarely a prospect will ask a Clubhouse room or a group or an online community, for that matter, for help with the exact problem that you can solve. For example, instead of somebody asking, I need help getting more leads, they will post they'll post a problem saying, can anyone help me lower my cost per lead on Instagram, for example. It's the same for Clubhouse. If they're coming to a room and they're saying, I need help with this, it's normally not the actual problem that they're facing. So it's our job to identify the symptom level problems and then carefully make a diagnosis to the real problem in a way that nobody else has. Because often when prospecting, wherever it may be, Instagram, emails, people are very lazy and they don't look in between the lines to identify the symptom level problems, because very rarely people will be problem aware. So it's your job to take them from problem unaware to problem aware. So then you can provide the value and get them emotionally bought in. So these are the steps we do in this framework. So these are the 5 steps that we have to take to make sure that they commit to coming onto your web class or on a sales call, for example. So the first framework is engage, and you probably know how to do this already, Iffy. Engage. It's called the croc brain. It's the the fight or flight response mechanism in the brain. We need to basically get past that, and we do that by building rapport, referencing something on their Instagram. But we'll go over this when we get into this a bit more detail. So the second thing is assess the real problem. The third framework is assign a frame to create authority, accountability, and priority. The fourth framework is a call to action, to book them on a call, on the webinar placement immediately. And then the fifth framework is obligation, to create accountability. So the first framework is engage. You have to engage the part of the brain, of the prospect's brain. This is like I mentioned, the fight or flight mode people are in when scrolling on Instagram or listening to you on Clubhouse, or when they are simply not ready to be sold to. Yeah. In this stage, you want to be very clear that you acknowledge their specific problem and then assure them that you help them find a solution. And this is all within your messenger, okay? So the thing that you don't want to do, just to go off script here, is say, they come to you for the problem, for example, Clubhouse, Instagram, struggling with this, and then you just send them a link straight away. That's not what to do, okay? Because you never get people showing up, all right? So for example, when people message you, depending on what your message is on Clubhouse, or if it's outbound or inbound, it'd be slightly different. But for example, this makes total sense. I feel I may be able to help you once they send you a message. And then follow up. If it's an outbound, you see a problem on their Instagram or see a problem on their Facebook, you can actually print screen their problem and send it to them and ask them if they ever got a detailed answer to their problem, right? Or the second version is, hey name, did you ever get a detailed answer to this? I may have some internal resources that I can send you that have helped me. Second message. So once you've sent that, what you don't want to do as well, Iffy, is something that I really, really struggled with in the beginning. I wasn't even aware of, to be honest, until I learned this. So once I knew their problem, I would bombard them with like paragraphs or 3 or 4 messages at once. If you do that, it will turn them off. So just make sure to be patient with you or your VA. Only ask one question, send it, or have one statement and send it. Don't have one statement on 2 questions or 2 questions and 1 statement, because it's too much for people.
You're absolutely right. That's happened to me. And I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, so just, I know it's like you want to give all the value straight away, but they're not prepared for it. So if they ask a question, give them a response and an answer, or just ask the one question, wait for them to respond, okay? Because you probably know what it's like, Iffy, right? When you ask somebody what their problem is, they send you a whole paragraph. It's like, oh my God, I've actually got to read through that. But, that's not what you want to do on the flip side. Just really keep it simple. So once you've done that, send, and then second message, ask them what they've tried so far and say that you think that you can help. Send that and then wait for a reply, okay? So once you've done that, and you've engaged with them, always use a reference from their Instagram, something that's related to the purpose of what you're trying to do to help them. So don't do anything like, lovely dog, by the way, or I see that you've got a new car, that's a mate. Don't say anything like that, because it's irrelevant to the purpose of the conversation. So always have that straight line approach and keep on track. So relate it to something that's to do with their coaching business or their whatever their offer is. Yeah. So the second part is assess. So in this stage, you want to begin assessing where the prospect is. We use the Assess Diagnosis tool, which is located here. Okay. The objective here is to ask non-invasive questions. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Don't ask questions like, how many sales did you get this week, and how much money you currently generate?
Yeah, exactly.
People actually ask me that, and I'm like, that's so rude. It's rude.
Yeah, it is rude. It is. Once you've got that relationship, then it's a different conversation. But at the moment, they're still in this state of mind where like, who the hell are you? I don't know you, right? So non-invasive questions, indirect questions, indirect answers, right? So once you do the non-invasive questions, this will basically now allow you to diagnose the real reason for their problem. You want to ask questions in a diagnostic tool, then proceed the assign stage, okay? So credit where credit is due. So I learned this from the buying pocket from Taylor Welsh from Traffic and Funnels. You know that company? So every prospect you speak to will fall into one of two categories, okay? Either A or B. So person A, they have been burnt, they've been let down, often lower their goals, and never had a system or the right coaching that actually works for them. Okay, so that's the first person. They're just fed up, they're burnt out, they've been let down. And then the second person, they think that they can do it all themselves. They don't want to accept help, even if they truly need it. They will often just have a specific problem that wants to get solved and be on their way. So your job is to identify which person you're dealing with and then pull them out into what's called the buying pocket, which is right in the sweet spot in the middle, okay? This is when they are in a place where they are prepared to accept help and they see a future within their business, okay? So how do we pull them out of how do we pull them into the buying pocket? Well, the most effective way to pull someone into the buying pocket is to help them identify the real problem. This is often referred to as the negative mechanism. We do this through a problem diagnostic tool. You can see mine here. So question 1 is, what have they tried so far to fix their specific problem? Question 2 is, what is their current offer valued at? Yeah, so it's indirect, right? Question 3 is, how many sales and clients are they wanting to gain each month? You should be able to know and reverse engineer their revenue and see whether they are person A or person B. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes, this makes sense, except for, we're asking, these are questions we're asking, or this is information that we're finding out. So the question, like, how many clients are they gaining each month? We'll only know that by asking them the question, right?
Yeah.
So we're saying to them, you know.
Yeah, but it's not saying how much money are you making a month.
No.
Yeah.
But you are asking them how many new clients they're gaining each month.
Yeah.
And that allows you to work out how much they're making.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, once you've done that, you'll understand exactly what person that they are. So then question 4 is, how many clients are they aiming to bring in each month? So this is the exercise here, yeah? So whether you yourself are starting out this research process of learning to teach your team, you'll soon run into bottlenecks, and basically, sorry, I've typed this out a little bit wrong. So whether you or yourself are starting out this outreach process or learning to teach your team, you will soon run into a bottleneck. So, kind of like where you are now, you don't want to, you want to do it, but you don't want to do it for the rest of your life, and it just be, you get capped on to the amount of people you can contact. So this is why I wanted to get your VA on board, but as we've got it recorded, she can watch this back. So, and I'll make sure I edit all of this as well, so just get straight to the point.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I think this is fine because it's like she's live here with us. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay, cool.
No, it's like she's live here with us. I've got my friend here who I'm going to show this to anyway because She used to be in my old company. She used to be the office manager, and she's super analytical. She's got a baby anyway, so I was just thinking, oh, this could be something she could do as well. But anyway, carry on. This is really good. I really like it, and it makes sense. And I think it's good that you're going a bit deeper into the psychology, because I don't think my VA would probably, like, I'm not even aware of half this stuff. So I think keep going with the details.
Yeah. So whether it's you or your VA wanting to learn this stuff, people are always gonna want to buy from people that they know, like, and trust, right? And people buy because of you, not because of your service and what you can do. So you already know that, coming from a bit of a sales background yourself. So this is great, this system, when you're getting to 20 to 50K per month. But when you truly want to scale and build a team, a personality is not something that you can transfer across to a sales rep overnight, right? So this is why it's so important that we work together on this. So here is how to systemize the knowledge of your service, so that anyone can construct a strategy session for you on your behalf, okay? Or a webinar placement, okay? So step one is write the main top level problem that you help your prospects solve, yeah? This could be get more leads, get more sales, or lose weight, gain muscle. Don't overcomplicate it. For example, we help business personal development coaches and mentors land higher value or high ticket clients. That's what we do, okay? So that's something that you want to write down, so you know.
Exactly. Should we do it as we're going? Should we do this part as we're going? Because then we're getting work done. With you, I mean, right now.
We can. Let's just record this, write a note, yeah? And then once we come off the call, we can write that problem down, okay? So just write some notes down on what you think that we need to cover. This is definitely one of them, okay? So step number 2 is map out the diagnostic process. So write down the 2 types of people you will often deal with, either version A or version B. Then begin asking questions of why they have not yet solved this problem by themselves. Again, don't overthink it. Just imagine you're having a strategy session on the phone with an actual prospect. So by doing this, you will often uncover 3 or 5 different scenarios of why people have not yet solved their problem, okay? So here's a rough example of the problem, right? Are you there? You still there with us, Iffy? Yeah? All right, cool.
Yes, I'm just typing in my notes because it helps my brain if I'm doing something while listening. So I'm listening.
Cool. So this is just an example, okay? So this is the problem. So cannot lose weight or gain muscle, okay? What have they tried? Option A, option B. Never been able to lose weight or gain muscle, okay? Person B, reached a plateau in weight loss or muscle gain. Again, person A, are you exercising 3 times a week, which is your question? And then person B, how often do you change your routine, for person B? So depending on what they say, yes or no, then you ask, do you have a current routine, or do you focus on a specific muscle group? And then you can diagnose the problem to scenario 1 or scenario 2. And then person B, how often do you change your routine? If they say never, then scenario would be the scenario to their problem, the knowledge gap, or the second option, which they would most possibly say is, very often, change my routine very often. Then you give them the knowledge gap, a solution to this scenario, okay? So no, I'm not a fitness coach. So these are just questions I guessed, but you kind of get the idea of what I'm kind of talking about here, right? Yeah. So you'll need to research whether your own resonates. So just making sure that you document all the problems that you currently get, and then creating scenarios, situations, and understanding if they're person A or person B, right? So you'll find that if you have done this correctly, you would have mapped out 3 to 5 scenarios of why people do not yet see results. This is now your diagnosis, like you would be a doctor. You know, you figure out the problem, ask the right questions, then diagnose their problem, okay? So this will help you get to the part where you use for framing in the next phase of the assign the frame part. So this is the assign the frame. This is the next part of the framework. So does everything make sense up until this point?
Yeah, let's just do a quick recap, like audio recap, just to explain, like over in total, like from the beginning to the end, just so I've got like that bit locked in. If I just say it back to you, and then you tell me where I'm. So ultimately, when people come into the DMs, you're saying there's 2 kinds of people. There's the people that want something to solve their problem right now, and there's people who've never had success with anything, so they've not got. And then my job is in these messages that we're sending to them is to ascertain who they are.
No, so
not me actually.
So just a second. So no, the 2 types of people. So if somebody's come to you and they've never tried anything, then it's an easy sell, right? Because they don't know anything different, and they're quite vulnerable, to be honest with you. So whatever they get told, they're going to believe. So that's not the type of person, because they'll already be in the buying pocket, that type of person. So option A is people that have tried loads of things. They've been let down, they've been burnt out. They've tried other coaches. They've tried all these different systems. Nothing's worked for them. And they're just like hands in their head, and they don't believe that anyone can help. So that's one type of person. Then the second type of person is the know-it-all. Yeah. The person that, just wants one specific problem solved so they can just get on their way.
Just to make a disclaimer, that's me.
I know.
I'm a type B person. I'm like, I know it all. I know what I want. Give me what I want. That's me. I was like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. So exactly. Yeah, carry on.
So yeah, I already knew that you was that type of person. So this framework is what I've done basically for you. So yeah, it's taking.
That's why I made a disclaimer.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you have to. So person B is like know it all. I don't need anyone to help. I just need one specific problem fixed. So you have to take that person, pull them back and say, look, question. What are you trying? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Then the other person is the burnt out person, tried everything, nothing's worked. So you've got to recognize those people and have 3 to 5, understand like 3 to 5 problems that they are facing by asking qualified questions. All right. So for example,
can I just say something, James? Just one thing. With this strategy, though, we're going to get people in the ground zero. They're going to be people that never actually thought that they could use video to sell their books. So they've not. They're more like I've never even thought about this. So they're kind of. So this is basically what we're doing is for the people that are going to fall into category A or B.
No, I mean
the people we're kind of. No, but I mean, as well, like we're looking at this because those other people will just buy. They'll just go through the webinar. They'll just watch it because they're desperate for something, anything, because they're new. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. So you have like 4 different types of buyers, right? So you have the looky-loos, yeah. You have the mistakes. You have the buyers in heat and buyers in power, yeah. So the buyers in heat are the ones that need your product, they can afford your product, they just want that, they love you, they trust you, trust your company, trust what you're saying, and they're all in, yeah? You get about 10% of those types of people in the marketplace. It's very rare that you find those people, those types of people I'm talking about, where they just call you.
That, aren't I?
No. No, you're not.
I thought I was that. I always wanted to buy. I just needed to know what I was buying.
No, you wasn't that person. So you was actually a buyer in power.
Okay.
You was.
Oh, okay.
You could afford the product. You wanted the product, but you got the power. You wanted to search around to see who the best fit is. what the best option was. You know, that's buyer in power. You know, so it's about, so basically the buyer in heat and the buyer in power are the two main people that you want to be focused on. Because the buyer in heat are easy to sell to, right? You don't need to do much to get them on board. You know, you ask them a couple of the same questions. What have you tried before? Nothing. Okay, amazing. Yeah. And it's easy. It's flow. It's easy, right? It just goes your way, right? But then you have the buyers in power that have either been, they know everything like you, right? They just want one specific problem solved, or they've tried loads of different things and never had their problem fixed. So it's about turning the buyers in power to buyers in heat. Yeah. So like, oh my God, yeah, this is the person. Yeah. That's what you want to do. And then what you want to be wary of is the looky-loos and the mistake. So there'll be oftentimes there'll be people that message you that didn't necessarily know why they were there. They just heard you say you got a free webinar. They're not a coach. They're not a mentor. They're not an author. They heard something you was doing for free, and they just messaged you. Right? You're gonna get those. So
what that is. Oh, I get those. A lot of those.
Yeah. So
I heard you. This is. Can I just say what I get? I heard you speak. Oh my God, I heard you speaking in a clubhouse room and your British accent is just lovely.
Yeah.
So I just want to be around you and hear you. So how can I get your free course? Whatever it is. I just want to be near you every day. I'm following your stories and it's just absolutely warms my heart.
Yeah, exactly that. So our goal is to get those out of your messenger straight away.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, my friends here. Like my best friend is just with me all the time, and she's just like laughing, going, "Oh." So yes. So there's, and then wait, one more thing, because it's recorded. I just want to make sure. Also, I have the British people who are like, "Hi, I heard you speak in the clubhouse room. I don't know what it is that you do, but I want to do what you do. So can I just message you and you just tell me what you're doing, please?" Those people.
Yeah. So those types of people, it's a direct question. You know, do you want to be a coach? Are you an author? Are you a coach? Or do you want to be a coach? Do you want to be an author? You know, it's a direct question. If they say no, then just stop messaging them, or just politely say, "I don't think you'll be a good fit for you." So make sure you do that, because you don't want to waste your money on VAs trying to service those types of people. Just get them out of the scenario. Yeah. And then you have the looky-loos. Okay. So the looky-loos are people that disguise themselves as buyers in heat. You know, the people that give it all the bigger and, yeah, I can invest, I can do this. I want to be confident. You know, just massive ego, got nothing to show for what they do. They're just idiots, right? So you want to identify those people with direct questions, just to get them out of your messenger.
Give me an example of a direct question then. How would you know? Could you just tell by the way that they're carrying on?
Just the way that they are, the way that they carry themselves. You can look at their Instagram and you can see whether they're an idiot or not. And then just say, "Hey, tell me a bit about your business, or tell me a bit about what you want to achieve tell me what you want to achieve with the free mastermind or masterclass." Yeah. And then you can ask a direct question. You know, are you looking for a coach to help you? Are you looking for coaching? Yeah.
Yes, we're just moving tables because we need to, yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, so I can ask some direct questions. Are you a coach? Where do you want to go, Jenny? Okay. Okay, thank you. Oh, look at you. Are you a coach? Do you want to write a book? Is this just direct questions? And if the answer is, but they could still say, yeah, thinking about it.
Yeah, thinking about it. Yeah. So yeah, just you'll be able to identify it from there. You can ask them questions, but don't nurture them as much as those people that, you know, really are there for a specific solution to their problem. You know, or those people that have tried everything, nothing's worked. They're the two people that are golden for you, okay? So just be aware of those people, you know? So does that all make sense so far? Yeah? I can't hear you, but...
I'm saying I really like that. I really like it because it's like we've got our glasses on and I'm like, when they come in, I can say 1, 2, 3 or 4. I can decide 1, 2, 3 or 4. And if I know, oh, there are 3, this is what they need. There are 4, this is what they need. I think that's brilliant, and that's easy for us all to see, you know?
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, so just to recap, so you'll find that if you have done this correctly, you would have mapped out 3 to 5 different scenarios of why people do not see results, okay? So you'll know exactly what type of person they are from the questions, and you'll know whether or not you will go on to the next stage of this framework, okay? Because the next 2 phases are really important, okay? So this is now your diagnosis, which you will use for framing the next phase of this assign the frame. So this is the next part of the framework. So assign the frame, okay? Are you with us?
Yeah, just hold on a second.
Yo, dude. Hello, mate. Hello, mate. Are you ready, Effie?
Hello?
You ready, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so assign the frame. So once you've done all those questions, you identify what type of person that they are. You can now assign the frame and diagnose their problem like you would a doctor, right? So if you map out your diagnosis tree the right way, and there is actually an app you can do this on. If you download this app, it's called Simple Mind.
Simple Mind, hold on.
Yeah, let me show you what it looks like. Right, yeah, so this is what it looks like. So you can it's like a mind map, like diagram. So you can add, and then you can draw like a mind tree, you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute. So you know this stuff, just to let you know, my brain is like, I like to close gaps. So just so I know, at the end of this, we're going to go back and we're going to close all these gaps. So I'm going to upload mind map while I'm on the phone to you. We're going to put that there, and we're going to do that because I need mind map to help me to be able to visually see how we're going through this funnel. So yeah. So just so you know, after so many other things are given to me, my brain just can't cope because just to explain my brain how I work, it's like going in the kitchen, going in my bedroom and opening all the drawers, yeah, and then opening everywhere, but saying at the end we're going to close them. After a while, too many drawers open make me want to just stop and go and close them.
Yeah.
So maybe
what I'm going to do?
One more thing.
No. What I'm going to do? I'm going to finish off this script so you've got it on record. Yeah, we've got the recording. But I'm also going to give you this script, read through it.
Okay.
All right. And then after we've done it, we'll recap the frameworks so you understand it again, okay? So
Are we actually going to do the work though?
If you want me to help you do the work, that's fine.
But I think, so I'm thinking best thing though would be to do what I'm just thinking, because if you're going to give me this script, yeah, and I can read the script, I can read it on Otter and then send it to the VA, or the VA is like super like high functioning, she'd just read it and pick it up. So maybe this time, your time would be best going through the things, these. And how long's left on the thing? So I know you said it's.
Yeah, we're pretty much done. Yeah, just.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, just let.
Carry on then. Carry on.
Carry on. A little bit left. It's not that much. But
okay, then yeah.
Let's just get through this, all right? So once you've done all the questions, yeah, and when you're basically in your message, you'll find out these problems, their biggest problems. You want to write down all these problems and create scenarios for each problem. So if they have this problem, say this. If they have this is for your VA, so you can delegate this, all right? So you're not at the
objection handling.
It's kind of objection handling, but
we're overcoming objections that we know are coming. So yeah, we're figuring out what are all the problems that they have, all the objections.
Yeah, what
we
have
won't
they
know
tried?
that until we do this. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So what have they tried? You know, what's the real problem here? So if they say this is the problem, then you have this answer. Yeah. If you have this problem, you have this answer. Yeah. So you can create a mind tree for your VAs. So you just give them a map. All right. So they're not going, oh, so they've said this, what do I say? You've mapped it out, right? And this will constantly evolve within different industries. And this is why it's really important to have one specific industry. Yeah, you're kind of getting the understanding of this now, right? Yeah, because none of this would make sense if you had loads of industries, because there'll be so many different questions and different answers for people. So cool. So assign the frame, yeah? If you map out your diagnostic tree the right way, it may take a few drafts, right? But you will be able to quickly diagnose the real problem for your prospect, not seeing results. We are now able to confidently give them a diagnosis and how it relates to their specific problem, right? In the same way, a headache might be the symptom of something else. A doctor will explain how it connects to provide context. Otherwise, the patient would feel as though they weren't being acknowledged. So you must do the same, okay? So you can do that with empathy, understanding, and all that, asking the right questions, okay? So this is important. So there's a difference between acknowledging and just telling somebody what they already know, yeah? There's a massive difference. So you must teach them something new. We do this by using something called the knowledge gap, okay? This is quite simply something you know that they don't, okay? People care more about what they don't know than what they do. So a perfectly engineered knowledge gap will keep you in the authority, yeah? Cool. So when assigning a frame, you must do 3 things: acknowledge, create a knowledge gap, and then number 3, create angst. Yeah, the cost of doing nothing. Okay. So angst, the meaning of angst is a feeling of deep anxiety or dread, typically unfocused one about the human condition or state of the world generally. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to do that one. I don't like the angst one. I don't know. Could we not do vision instead? The opposite. Instead of, I get it. I get psychologically we want to make them have the fear of missing out. And like, if they don't do nothing, what they're going to get. But maybe we could flip it as to the sense of, where you are currently now, how are you possibly going to reach that goal of being here? Can we do vision? Can you do any other more positive psychology?
It is positive psychology. It's not coming at a point of, trying to make the person anxious. It's not.
It's just the name you've used, yeah. As soon as I heard angst, I was like, oh gosh. But actually, no, I see it now. This is the cost of doing nothing.
Yeah, the cost of doing nothing. What's the cost of you not solving this problem? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, but.
Yeah, it's making them. It's taking them for. It's not trying to cause anxiety. It's making, because they've already got this problem, right? Deep down in their subconscious, they're unaware of it. So it's basically taking that unaware problem from that's deep down inside and bringing it up to the surface and saying, look, you know, what's the cost of you not solving this problem, right? So that's what we're trying to do here. So assign the frame, you must do 3 things: acknowledge them, make them feel understood, create a knowledge gap, so you're the authority, and then create angst and the understanding of, you know, what's the cost of doing nothing, okay? So acknowledge, what is their scenario? Yeah. 2, what is the knowledge gap? A knowledge gap is simply biggest challenge and thing you know that they don't. Yeah, because you probably know, after asking these qualified questions, you already know the solution to their problem. So there, you give them the knowledge that they don't know that you do. That creates the authority, it creates the value, it creates the trust. So simply ask why they have not figured this out themselves, then apply the scenario, and you have your knowledge gap, right? Does that make sense, Iffy?
Yes, that does.
Yeah?
Absolutely. I love the knowledge gap thing. I saw you do it with me.
Yeah, you have
Because
to.
I've watched, I've watched
that.
your sales process with me, and I've seen the areas of where you've, So no, I think that's important, because why is anyone going to invest in something where they already know the answers? But the minute, for me, the knowledge gap was great, because when you said to me, I understand messaging, I know how to engage with the audience, and also you said things that were in the back of my mind, because I know, as a person who's a customer going on the customer journey, I know that I might be in a great room, but as soon as I click on their webinar and I see it's like 45 minutes, 90 minutes, there's a tiny little screen of them and big slides, I'm bored, I'm not interested, even though I really know this person has a lot of value. But what I found is that you showed me, you said people might want your webinar, but actually what's going to make them actually watch it? So, and I was thinking, that's exactly the same question I was saying to myself. Why am I not watching these webinars that I really want to watch? Well, it's because they're long and they're boring. And I like the fact that you said that you have to use emotion. She didn't use emotion to get me. I was there from desire, the desire
Logic.
Logically, I liked what she said. And I trust her. I like her, I trust her, and I believe that her work will help me. But I couldn't be bothered to watch the long webinar because there wasn't any emotional buy-in for me. So I love that, and that's why I was like, that's what most people are missing. So I know that James can give me that.
It's what everyone's missing.
Yeah, the emotional buy-in. Like, why am I going to invest 45 minutes of my time listening to you show me slides and waffle on, tiny little picture of you? So that's why I've changed my webinar. I've done it in a way that I would want to watch it, like a movie. I've made my webinar like a movie. Exciting.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So, you know, people do, you know, when they do the messenger stuff, they do all the other steps. You know, they engage, they acknowledge, they don't do the knowledge gap. And that's what they're missing, because they think once they get them on the phone, they can then give them the knowledge, but they haven't. People just don't show up, you know. So if you give them the value in the front end, they're going to be thinking, wow, they've given me all this knowledge on the front end for free. What's the paid version going to be like?
Absolutely. And that's what you did for me. You gave me so much knowledge, so much. And the thing is, I do that anyway, but not in this systematic way. So it's not just about giving them loads of knowledge. I love because we're actually consciously giving them the knowledge, rather than I give them knowledge in a erratic, responsive way, rather than in a clear, I'm giving you knowledge now in my mind. I'm going to tell you really good stuff, like, you know, how many audio books are sold, or, you know, how many people write a book each year and don't get sold, and no one picks it up. You know, you tell them that knowledge of, you know, by doing an advert for your video, for your book, it can give you this. So yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
That's all right. So once you've done the knowledge gap towards their specific problem, then you can do the angst. Okay, so this is the cost of doing nothing. Without angst, you won't get somebody to make this a priority, often meaning they reject your offer or they don't even show up. Okay. So to find angst, just ask what will happen if they don't solve this. You know, what's going to happen if you don't solve this problem? Yeah. And that's what's going to get them emotionally brought in. So here's the script. Do you want me to read the script, or do you want to just carry on to the next part?
I would love to read the script, but I'm conscious I've got a 12 o'clock.
Okay, that's
but
fine.
if you're free, so that we can get used of our time, if you're free after that time, later, like 2, I don't know how much, to actually do the work. Do you think, I think it's important I hear the script from you, how it sounds, but I'm thinking anyway, the script's going to be written anyway. There's going to be no voice, unless you think voice notes would be good.
No, I don't do voice notes.
No?
No, because you can't outsource that.
Oh, no, what if it's the VA's voice though?
No, just keep it text, trust me.
You sure?
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, what you don't want to do is rely on people to run your business, right?
Okay, yeah, I got you. I know in the short term, I think voice is great, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at position to scale up. Got you. Understood. Carry on then. So, yeah.
Cool. So, you know the framework. So the last part of the framework, okay, is the call to action. Iffy? Yeah. So the call. This is the next part of the framework. So the call to action. So now you've acknowledged this scenario.
Sorry, James. James, 1 second. Sorry, I am sorry. Hold on, because someone's asked me a question.
Finalize all the marketing, get it online. Speak to our friends,
James?
Just a sec.
That's okay. I was wondering, can we have a 10-minute break?
Yo.
I was wondering, could we have a 10-minute break?
Yeah, we can do. But we're literally finished.
Okay, then.
We haven't got much left. And this is recorded anyway, so you can watch this back.
Okay, just go for it then.
All right. So the next part is the call to action, okay? So now you acknowledged this scenario, yeah? You've introduced the knowledge gap. What you know that they do not, right? And you've created the cost of doing nothing through angst. You are now ready to close the appointment, whether it's the webinar or a sales call, okay? Or even make the sale, okay? Like, people will literally be ready to not even want to watch the webinar. They just want to get straight onto the program. But this is what's going to create the commitment, okay? So we do this through 2 steps. So number 1 is immediate call to action. So we need to create an immediate call to action where they will see the results as quickly as possible. We want to first present a solution to their scenario, to their situation, okay, after you've applied the knowledge. This could be a piece of free content, an audit, or anything that would help them learn more about you. Then you want to position the strategy session or the webinar as a logical next step. This way they value it and they don't just view it as a pitch, okay? So they may even ask how much it costs, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Yes.
I'm listening quietly in the background. I'm imagining I'm the
Okay, that's fine. So when you've done all of these steps, Iffy, yeah? Listen.
Yeah.
Once you've done all of these steps, all right? do these steps correctly. Once you put into action, give them something for free for them to bring onto your webinar. Like a free piece of, like a free, piece of content, like it could be like a 10-minute or a 5-minute quick something. Yeah.
Give me an example. What do you mean?
Okay. So for example, if people want to niche down their business, we'll do the messenger and we'll give them a little worksheet to fill in, do this is really going to help you niche down your business. We'll give them a little document.
Yeah, okay, like an easy activity. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe what I do is something more relatable. Say, right, all I want you to do is to tell me your intro. Like I did this with my challenge, 14-day challenge. What I'd like you to do is I want you to come ready, because on the webinar, I want you to be able to have your hi, I'm Sarah Smith, I am an author and confidence and a coach, and your why. Come with like your introduction, your why, and then also come with your how you ramp it up. So like a 3-step guide, I've got that.
Yeah.
So I want you to think about these 3 things: your intro, your body, and how you close. And I want to make sure that by the time you come onto the webinar, you'll be able to your elevator pitch. You'll be able to show me what you've got. And then at the end of the thing, I would have asked them though for it. So then at the end of the webinar, I will message all the people who was on the webinar, to all the people who put their email in. How would I know though? I don't want to bait people up. They're excited to share their elevator pitch and then I don't actually ask them for that.
Yeah, so no, you don't have to get their answers.
I'll say send it to me.
Yeah, just say, get this done. This will help you. We're going to cover so much in the webinar. If you come with the first step, which is the intro, you'll already be in front of everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we'll put that in our messaging. Let me write that down.
Yeah.
So we've got our free. What did you call it? A free.
Just a free worksheet or something.
A free worksheet to prepare you for the webinar.
Yeah.
For the webinar, if you are able to do this before.
Yeah, this will put you in front of everybody else coming on. This will put you a step ahead than everyone else. And it makes them feel special, yeah?
This will put you a step ahead.
Yeah, for the webinar.
Step ahead for the webinar. This will put you a step ahead for the webinar. And you know that these authors are overachievers. So I'd be like, okay, please complete your intro. And then I'll tell them why it's important, your intro.
Exactly.
The beginning of your elevator pitch.
Yeah. So tell them why that's important for them to bring it onto the webinar. You want to give them some form of accountability. So, that you've set them a task and you've got to now hold them accountable to now bring it to the web class. Yeah?
It's important that you bring it to the web class because there's going to be so much value.
No, don't overload, don't make it complex.
Okay, it's important that you bring it to the web class.
Well, I wouldn't even say things like that. I'd just say, look, here's an assignment. Make sure you get this done, because on the web class, this is going to push you in front of everybody else. This is going to put you a step ahead.
Okay, so I wrote
I did
a free worksheet to prepare you for the webinar. If you're able to do this before, this will put you a step ahead. That's it.
Yeah, something.
And then you said, please complete and bring it with you, yeah?
Yeah, complete. Make sure you complete this and bring it with you to the webinar.
Make sure you complete this. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
thank you. Okay, got that down.
So this is to create the value in advance, right? So this way they will value it, and they don't just view it as a pit. Yeah, you're giving them value, and you actually tend to bring something on the webinar to get more value, right? So they, like I said, they may even ask how much it costs, like for what you do. So they will, as you know, buying questions. Could you put your thing on silent, Tris?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So we've got an example here of how to do that, which you can read through. Okay. Yeah. Which you and your VA can have a read through that. So number 2.
The shit test. I like this.
Yeah. So this is called the shit test. All right. So 2 things will happen when you do this. A, they agree to set a call or come to the challenge or the webinar, the web class. If that is the case, then proceed with step 3, which I will show you in a sec. B, they reject the call or the challenge or the webinar and instead ask for you to send the free resource first. This is called the shit test, right? And this is their way of saying, I'm not interested enough. Send me your price and I'll see, right? So to combat this, we need to take them back to the frame, and here's how. So start by trying to understand why they don't want to get on a call or come onto the challenge or the webinar, yeah? And set expectations of what will be discussed, yeah? So you could say, for example, okay, is there any particular reason why you don't want to have the call or do the challenge or the web class? Is there another way I can check in, for example, yeah? Then based on their reply, position the call or challenge web class as an extra needed support that they need for them to for the content or video you send them to actually work. So you want to give them the content and say the only way that you're going to get the most benefit out of this web class if you bring this to the web class, yeah. So now you're holding them accountable, okay. So, for example, I understand you are used to people selling to you, right? People will be used to that. But I generally just want this to work for you. If not by this web class or call, then that's all good, yeah? So this is, again, if they're not turning up or, not wanting to come onto the web class, these are the kind of objections you kind of approach it by, yeah. So they'll have different responses here. You just have to gauge what it is, but generally, you just want to make sure that you ensure that they understand and action this out. So you want to make sure that you want to hold them accountable for this little task, because if they can't do a small little task, then their chances of them coming onto the web class is very slim. Yeah, so you just want to give them something, hold them accountable, say, look, this is what you need to access this webinar, make sure you get the most benefit out of it, yeah? So it's just, again, just holding them accountable for their problem, yeah? So you're actually coaching within the webinar and you're actually giving so much value that they give up and say, I have to come, yeah? So they will now have 2 responses. Either A, they will let the defense down and book in on the webinar, book in the call, or B, they will convince you that they will actually take action. And then once they've convinced you that they'll take action, then you can, for the follow-up, you can leverage this by doing the follow-up, holding them accountable. Look, you said you was going to do this. This was your problem. You said you was going to take action. Now, why haven't you turned up? Yeah. So you can always refer back with your follow-up strategy with that leverage point. Okay. So the best case is they commit to the web class or the call. The worst case, they reject the web class call, but give you permission to hold them accountable. Yeah, they're the 2 scenarios that you want. And this is why you give them a little piece of the pie beforehand. Okay. so that's the best way to overcome objections of why they don't show up. Okay, so now we're onto the final last part. So this is obligation. Okay, so 2 steps to creating this, right? So accountability framing. A prospect has said that they will take action will action something out, like a piece of value you give to them, something for them to go away and implement. It is now your role to keep them accountable for them to get that task done. Yeah. Or it's your responsibility to hold them accountable for them to bring that piece of content or that exercise, that free piece of content onto the webinar so they come there. Yeah. So the goal here is to have the customer give you permission to hold them accountable as it is in their best interest. Okay. You're generally looking out for them. And an example of this is like, okay, how can I keep track of this? How about you watch the training now and I check in with you in 2 hours time? Yeah. So you want to give it to them and then ask for permission to ask if you can hold them accountable for them to get this done, or hold them accountable to get this done and make sure that they are booked on to the web class. Yeah. They put their email in, for example, they're showing up. Yeah. So now you have a reference point to follow up with until the end of time. So you can literally follow up with this as many times as you want, because you've done all these right steps, you asked the right questions, held them accountable, gave them the knowledge, and now you've got something that you just can keep on referencing to follow them up. Okay. Number 2, immediate indoctrination. Now you have confirmation of the web class or the call. You want to immediately indoctrinate them into your world. Start by adding them into your group. If you don't already have a group, add them into a business partner or WhatsApp group, Facebook group. Create some way for them to indoctrinate them into your world. Yeah. So for example, just adding Adam, in case I can't give you a detailed answer to any questions based on the training, come and join this group, basically. So be sure to follow up with them or within the messenger or on a call if they don't show up. Okay. If they ghost you, then ensure the accountability frame. Yeah. So this is why it's important to give them something so you can hold them accountable to the end of time. Yeah. Because it's sometimes, they say like it takes for someone to buy, it takes them 7 times for you to ask, and they actually purchase. So this is a good frame to make sure that they are. You can constantly hold them accountable for the task that you gave them, and that's it. So congratulations. Yeah.
It's very good, very detailed, very makes sense. Psychologically, it's fantastic. I love this. So now we know the overall how it works. So now we need to start working on. I'm cool now. My friend's gone. So yeah, I'm cool. I've got time to really. We can really now work out. So we'll start with the first VA, but then we'll introduce some others. I spoke to my ex-sales friend, and she's really good. She's definitely a voice note. I haven't looked at it yet. So yeah, this is really great. I think it's a great. So how, if you were to wrap it all up, let's just try this scenario. Someone messages me. I've positioned them and told them I'm looking for authors and coaches. Someone messages me in masterclass because I asked them DM masterclass. The first thing that happens when they message me masterclass, we engage with their crop brain. So the first thing we do is, can you tell me can we start putting it just so we can see it very simple on a small page. So the first thing we do is someone's DM masterclass. I'm going to go into my notes now. What would you say? Just walk me through it in in the best possible scenario. Tell me the best case scenario. They're an author, they've heard me speak, they want sales, they've not tried sales because they've only just written their book, but they're ready to get it out there. Let's go through maybe that, please.
Yeah. So the first thing is that they're not going to be prepared to be sold to. Okay. So you need to engage with these people. Okay. Make them feel heard. Reference something related to their Instagram. You probably know how to do all this already. You just want to make sure that first thing you do is engage with them. 9 times out of 10 from Clubhouse, they'll tell you symptom level problems. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you just engage with them and ask them if they've ever got a detailed answer to their problem, right? And ask them what they've tried so far. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm typing.
All right. So like I said, I've sent all this to you. You've got a document. I've just sent it to you on your WhatsApp. So the first thing you want to do is engage with them. Ask them, did you get a detailed answer to this? What have you tried before in the past? Yeah. That's the symptom level problems. And then the second thing you want to do is go down to the assess, where you figure out what type of buyer they are, what type of person they are. Yeah. And actually get to the real problem. Yeah. You want to get to the actual problem and identify whether they're the person A or person B, which you spoke about. Then step 3 is to assign a frame to create the authority, accountability.
1 second a minute, James. I'm still step 2. I'm just saying it in my own words. So step 2, let me just confirm. So step 2 is we're going to just kind of like find out what type of buyer and then get to the actual problem through questioning.
Exactly.
Okay, lovely. I'm on step 3 now. Okay.
Yeah. So once you've engaged and assessed, yeah, then you can assign a frame to create authority, accountability, and a priority.
Lovely. So once we've assessed like once we found out what type of buyer they are, then we can start asking them questions to kind of really understand them. And then once we understand them, we can then start to assign the best framework for that prospect, what kind of approach they need, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you've got all the right questions, you can then quickly diagnose the real reason for them not seeing the results, just like you would a doctor, right?
Okay, so by diagnosing the problem in front of them is also showing to them that you are spending the time with them and that you're an authority.
Yeah,
so that's identifying their needs.
Yeah. So making sure that you're acknowledging them, being empathetic, and you must teach them something that they do not know, okay? And this is called the knowledge gap. This is the really important part, the knowledge gap. To their, giving them a perspective that they've never seen before, okay? And giving the value, giving them the solution to their problem, right? That's what is really important. So acknowledge.
So can I just say, so when you're acknowledging them and empathizing with them, and then you give them the solution, are you giving them, because I know we don't, when you say giving them a solution, you're giving the solution and the solution is doing the masterclass, right? You're giving them the solution, which is to take action. Yeah or not?
No. So you give them a solution. So whatever their problems are, you want to give them knowledge to help them solve that. So you're giving them tons of value, and tons of knowledge, because this is what people don't do. You know, they find out their problems and they try to book them into a web class or book them onto a call. You know, they find out their problems, say, look, the best thing that we should do is jump on a call, jump on the webinar, it will answer your problems. People are, you know, they're still in the croc brain phase. Yeah. They don't want to be sold to right now. Right. So,
okay, then I get that. So you're like feeding them with as much information as you can to help them, to make them feel comfortable, so to the point where they actually could do it themselves. But because you're feeding them so much, they're like, wait a minute, I could go out and buy these kind of cockroaches myself, but I want to know exactly where to buy them from and exactly at what point to feed them.
Yeah, they're still gonna have tons of questions. You know, so you might give them a detailed, solution, but they're still gonna have answers like, oh, how exactly do you implement that, or how exactly do you do this? So you just give them as much knowledge to their problems as you can, and then you can do, you know, then you can do the angst, the cost of doing nothing. Yeah. What will happen if you don't solve this once you've gave them that knowledge? Yeah. So once you gave them all the value, they're feeling amazing. Say, look, hey, you know, what's the cost of you not doing anything to solve this? Or saying something like, so let me just relay what you've just said. Let me just review what you've just said. So you've told me here that you want to do this, you're struggling with this. Just literally write out exactly what they've just told you. Yeah. So once you've done that,
I'm typing, so I'm just saying, yeah. So I love that. So basically, let me just kind of, so first of all, this part is the fear of doing nothing, and what's the cost of not doing something, and then basically validate them and repeat to them what they've said. Repeat to them the problems that they've mentioned. You know, you said that you've got this great book and you want to get it out there to millions of people, but the biggest problem you've got is that you don't have a big following, you don't have an email list, and that you just don't want to rely on your friends and family to buy the book. You actually want to help other people. So that's the biggest challenge that you're facing with right now. So if you do nothing, you know, what's that cost to you?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, okay. So you basically, so I'm going to just repeat and confirm
exactly
what they've just told me. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So relay and repeat what they just said to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once you relate and repeat what they've just said to you, yeah, their problems, then you can ask, you know, what's the cost of you not doing anything about this? Yeah.
Okay, I've got that. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's well, 1, 2, 3. I'm on 4, so then we're on the 5th one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So once you've done that, then you can give a call to action. Okay.
Call to action.
So immediate call to action, where they can see results as quickly as possible.
Call to action to see results.
Then you can tell them what the solution is, the web class. Yeah.
Okay, then. So how would I say that? How would you say that in your words then? So the call to action would be, call to action is the next thing. You'd say something like, what would you say? Well, I know what I would say, but I want to make sure it's in line with what you think is best. I'd say I can hear or see that this is something that you really are ready to move forward with. How about you come on to the masterclass and learn as much as you can that you can implement immediately into your business so that you can start seeing results fast.
Yeah.
But I don't know, would that be right to say that? That sounds a little bit salesy, or?
So, yeah, always when it comes to sales, I think it's always better to ask a question than it is to than to push. So once you've done the first part, yeah, engaged, acknowledged, found out what their problems are, you've relayed and repeated what they've just said, and then you say, what's the cost of you missing out? Yeah, and so you've done all the knowledge, you gave them the massive value. That's really important. Then you ask, what's the cost of you not doing anything about this? Yeah. Then they would tell you, well, yeah, the cost is this. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be stuck here forever. Yeah. Then you can say, well, look, would you be open to coming on to our free masterclass that we have this week? Now we have a few spaces left and we feel that you'd be a great fit. Would you like me to hold your placement for you?
Okay, then I like that, but I might have to change it a bit differently because we do have, there's no spaces, but maybe I could say something like, would you be open to coming onto my free masterclass that we're running this week? Because I'm going to run it the following week. Would you be open to coming onto my free masterclass that we're running this week?
Yeah. Or, say something like, our strongest recommendation for you to really get a tailored solution for this would be to come along to our webinar this week or next week. And this will really help you in the right direction to help you overcome these challenges.
Oh, I like that. Our strongest recommendation, what do you say, would be for you to come along to our webcast.
Yeah, where we can help you overcome these problems, these situations, and help you achieve your goals, for example. Yeah.
I like that webcast where we can help you overcome these obstacles.
Yeah. So now what you've done here is now create an emotional buy-in, yeah?
Yeah. So I've said the call to action is, would you be open to coming onto our free masterclass? Our strongest recommendation would be for you to come over to our web class where we can help you overcome these obstacles
and help you move forward.
Sorry?
Yeah, and help you move forward. Yeah.
That we're running this week that will help you move forward.
Yeah.
I think that's good. So and that's the last thing, and then they say yes, and then so that's the first. So let me just recap. So first thing that happens is they come into my DMs, masterclass, engage with them, reference something in their Instagram that is relatable. And then ask them, did you get a detailed answer from the problem that you had? And then ask them what they've tried before, and then after move them through to find out what type of buyer they are. Then start to find out what their actual problem is by asking questions that we probably need to write, but we haven't got them. Then after we've asked questions, assign them the best frame for the prospect, assign the best frame for the prospect, and then give them the approach that they need, diagnose the problem, acknowledge them, empathize with them, and give them lots of knowledge and information, serve them with like all this detailed solution without the implementation strategy. And then lastly, then the next thing is give them the fear of doing nothing. What's the cost of not doing something? And then validate and repeat and relay.
Yeah, turn those two round.
Oh, okay. So after I found out what the problem is and I've assigned the best frame for that prospect, and I've acknowledged them, empathized with them, and given them lots of information, I've served them with the detailed solution without giving them the implementation, then go straight to
repeat and relay what they just said. That's their problem.
Oh, okay, hold on. Repeat and relay. Oh, so that's still in the assign to the best thing, yeah? Repeat and relay what they've said, and then give them the fear of doing nothing.
Yeah.
What's the cost of them not doing something? and then once again go back and validate and repeat and relay the problems that they mentioned, or no?
No, take that out.
Okay, so after I've given them all the solutions without the implementation strategy, then I relay and repeat, and then I ask them the fear of not doing something.
Yeah, exactly that.
That's it. Okay, so on the repeat and relay, yeah, good. And then after I've asked them, like, what's the fear if you don't do, what's going to happen if you do nothing? Then I give them the call to action. Would you be open to coming onto my free masterclass? Our strongest recommendation would be for you to come up.
Stop. So
Okay.
once you've done that,
Yeah.
you want to get to this part. So the call to action. Yeah, we're on now. Yeah. So the call to action is you want to give them something, so they hold them accountable. Yeah. So a little piece of content. Like a little piece of content.
Worksheet, like we said, we'll do the worksheet. Call to action. Here's a great tool. Here's a great tool that's helped a lot. That's helped with clarity for your messaging.
Yeah, something like that. Something related
for
to
your
what
messaging.
what their problem is.
It's called dip theory. It's not mine, but someone. I'll teach them dip theory. It's called dip theory. Okay, here's a great tool that's helped provide clarity for your for other authors and for others messaging or something. Yeah, here's a great tool that I use to help my clients. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll know what to create with the problems that they are facing. So you'll create a little worksheet, or you'll be able to create a little something.
You know what, James? Would it be possible if I actually created, which would be really in line with what I'm doing, a little video? So here's a little video that I send to my clients that really helps them overcome this. It's going to be a 2-minute video, and I'm going to ask you to do a task at the end, because then they'll see me on camera, like, hi, and then I can just deliver it that way, because then it's different. It's easy for them to consume, and then I can say to them, all I need you to do for this is either send me a voice note back, yeah, or send me a video back. No, because that's making them. Because then if they do send the video back, then we know they're automatically going to come to how much effort should I make them put in?
I mean, yeah, I think just make sure that they've watched it, yeah? Follow up with them. Have you watched this? And say, look, make sure that you bring
your script.
Yeah, make sure you bring your script, your intro, for example, to the web class, so you're a step ahead of everybody else that comes on.
Yeah, where's that? I wrote that somewhere and then I must have put that somewhere else. Okay, so call to action. Here's a great tool that you can use. So send them a video, like task. And then, did I write it somewhere else? Let's have a look. Here we go. I wrote on another bit, free worksheets for you to prepare. So here's a great tool that you can use to send a video task, and then I have this bit. It's that you can use. Here is that you can use to prepare for the webinar. If you are able to do this before, this will put you a step ahead. Make sure you complete this and bring your script to the video.
Yeah. So that's giving
Bring your script to the webinar. Yeah.
That's creating obligation, okay?
Lovely. So that's the obligation. I'll put that there. Right. Lovely. Okay. Cool. And then once they've so if they're at this point in the funnel where I've said to them, here's a tool that you can use, make sure you bring it to the webinar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then how do I then go into how would I then go into the bit that we put? Would you be open to coming onto my free webinar masterclass? Because I've just told them to bring this free gift to the webinar. So
Yeah.
is that just another call to action?
So you want to, yeah, the solution is the webinar, yeah?
Yeah.
The solution
So,
is the webinar, but the obligation is the obligation is to hold them accountable. So the obligation is the last thing you want to do, yeah?
okay, so I'm doing it the wrong way around. So basically what you're saying is after I've done the fear of doing nothing, the call to action goes straight into, would you be open to coming onto my free masterclass? Our strongest recommendation would be for you to come over to our web class where we can help you overcome these obstacles that we're running this week that will help you forward. Here's a great tool, and then I give the obligation.
Exactly.
Right, so I've got it. Brilliant.
Then,
okay, I had it the wrong way around. That makes so much sense.
Now you want to ask for permission if you can hold them accountable for them to get this done.
Okay, so so I say to them, so I then say, this will put you a step ahead, make sure you complete this and bring your script to the webinar. And then I say, can I hold you accountable for this?
Yeah, exactly.
So what actually say, can I hold you accountable to do this?
Just
or can I be your...
Would it be okay to follow you up this to make sure that you implement this moving forward, for example?
Oh, I love it. Would it be okay to follow you up with this so we can implement it moving forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moving forward. Okay. Yes.
So
that's the 5 things. Oh, there's more.
And then the last thing you want to do is bring them into your world. Yeah, because they're not into your world yet.
Oh.
Yeah, because they're about to, but they're not until they get onto the webinar and into your community. They're not. They're just somebody in your messenger. All right. So what you want to do is immediate indoctrination. So now they've confirmed that they're going to do this task. They're going to come to the webinar.
Yeah.
Now you want to ask them. Now you want to put them into a group, like a WhatsApp.
Sorry?
Now you want to put them into a group, for example, like a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group, something like that, so you can bring them into your world.
Okay, so immediately say, immediately bring them to your world. So I'm going to do a WhatsApp group because I prefer that. A WhatsApp group and say, can you send me your number and I'll add you into... Oh, but everyone hates that.
What you can do is you can create a group and then you can copy and paste.
Do it so no one can.
You can get a link to go directly into a WhatsApp group.
Okay, so I say last thing, and this is to bring them into the world. Every day, because what I do more. So what's going to bring them into the WhatsApp group? Because I've got loads of WhatsApp groups. I do a thing called Quote of the Day.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do is say, when most of our clients come to us, they love to join our WhatsApp group. Do you want to join it? Would you like to join this to be supported, for example?
When most of our clients
come to our web class, they ask if there's anything they can do to be involved in a group where they can be supported. Would you like to be involved in the group?
Okay, so when most of our clients come onto our web class, they ask how they can get more involved, yeah?
Yeah, how they can get involved and be involved in a community, supportable community.
How they can get involved in a supportive, what do you say, community?
Supportable community.
How they could get involved in a supportable community. I always suggest, but the thing is with my WhatsApp groups, I turn it off so nobody can comment.
Okay.
So, because that means it doesn't annoy people.
Mm-hmm.
So I always suggest you join the WhatsApp group. Here's the link. Group.
Yeah.
here's the link. And then I'll just say, don't worry, you won't get messages because it's a closed group.
Yeah, there you go.
You won't get any messages just from me, as all responses have been turned off. It's not really much of a community because they just listen to me. Okay, that's good then. Lovely. And then I'll add them to that group where I just weekly or daily stuff.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. I've sent you it anyway. We've been on for 2 hours now. I'm getting
Jesus Christ. I know, I'm exhausted. Well, I think that those are the 5 things in a. What you've just showed me is the psychology of why you're doing it. Oh my God, how close has my face been to you this whole time? I need to know camera angles as well. So what you've been talking about is the psychology of why we're doing it, but the actual top line, the top of the iceberg, is the stuff we've just gone over, those 5 things.
Yeah.
So those 5 things. So if you could send me a copy of that video, I can just edit it. I'll just edit it. That's brilliant, James. I think that's absolutely extraordinary. You know, I love it. I love the psychology. I love the sales element. I love the authenticity around it. I love the fact that it is like a moving conveyor belt. I think that's brilliant. So, yeah, I love it. I'm very impressed, and I'm definitely like not underwhelmed. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. So, yeah, thank you so much for giving me access to that and walking me through it, because it's really good. Yeah, I think anyone could understand that now because you broke it down.
Yeah. What did you like the best about it? What did you like the most?
I like the best where we were identifying who the people were. I think if you know who you're dealing with and the first focus isn't, oh, I've just got a message. That's amazing. Let's get them on the web class, the masterclass. Instead, what you've shown is that actually I'm going to identify who are you, because until you're not a prospect, you're a suspect actually. You're a suspect first, and we're going to move you into a prospect. That's what I teach on my sales training. Everyone is a suspect. Until we know who you are, you're not a prospect. You're only a prospect once I recognize who you are. And I like the fact that you're like, we're going to identify if you're a A or a B person. And then now we know whether you're an A person or a B person, we can take you down this, we'll take you this way round into the warehouse, rather than taking you, and we'll take the other person this way round, because this one has a route, a scenic route, where they get to see things that benefit them to push them into the warehouse door. This one needs maybe a more direct route where we can push them in. So I really like visually how that helps me look at my messages, and I think it will help the VA as well. So, well, I know it will. So I love that, but I love so many parts about it. I love that. That was my first thing. I liked the idea of the shit ones, because I think it's important that you go, you're a shit one, you know. And I also, I really like knowing I like knowing what the steps are. I like going, do you know what? This person here, I've got 20 people who are at stage 4, like stage 4 of the production line, you know, and I've got like 27 people who are in the door. They're all coming to the masterclass. They're all part of the WhatsApp group. They're great. I'm cultivating them. I like the fact that I can see where they are. And I think it's good for the VA as well to say, where are people at number 2? How many have you got in number 2? I've got 20 people at number 2. I've got 14 people at number 3. I've got 7 people here. Okay, then, so how are we going to push them along through into the production line, into the warehouse? How are we going to get them, you know, to the back of the lorry so we can send them out? That kind of thing. So I like that. It's clear, visual, clear.
Awesome.
It's the way I like to think. Works out good for me. Very nice, James. Very nice. I'm very impressed. I'm very excited because I can implement that strategy. What I'd love, if possible, because I'm like, oh, I have to get my brain. You know that thing that you said about the simple thing, the app.
Yeah.
Could you make me 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Could you like copy and paste what I just wrote into those 5 things and make me it so I can then send that to them? So I'm sure you've done it loads of times anyway. So you can just copy and paste.
You can do that, and I'll look.
Is it not?
I'm not doing it for you.
What's the app? Why not?
No, it's not. It's not my role. It's not my job.
Oh.
Um,
Okay. Tell me what the app is then again. Simple
Mind.
Simple Mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Simple Mind. And is it free?
Yeah.
Does it look? I don't understand. There's so many choices. Right. What colour's the app? Is it pink? Does it say mind mapping? Or is it blue with a drop?
Yeah,
Is
that's
it a
it.
box?
That's the one. That's the one. The second one.
Okay, I can't believe it's been 2 hours. Can you?
I know. By people calling me left, right, centre.
I know. I've got a Zoom call that I'm already late for.
All right, yeah, let's get off then. Get that done.
Right, see you later. Thank you so